how to change for good and what actions to take. Hi, welcome, Will Perry here. Welcome to another Keeping the Conversation Alive, because you need to with this stuff. So how to change for good. So we're constantly taking actions. It's like, what action shall I take? Well, you're already busy doing tons of actions. And maybe some of it you feel is moving you forward. Maybe some of it is moving forward. Yet when you take the right action, things really start to change. And you can feel it. You can get you're on the roll. You're this flow that athletes often talk about, and professionals talk about, of whatever industry or whatever. When you're in the flow and everything, it's like, oh yeah, let me get into the flow. That sounds good. So that happens when we take the right actions consistently and constantly, and for long enough, and then it all starts to go. But what actions should you take then? What actions should you take in order to get to that thing where things starting to flow? And for me, it starts with, with the people that I work with the focus that I have on this low self-worth, low self-esteem, getting stuck, not realizing it, attracting the wrong kind of relationships, all that. How then do you work it out and get into taking the right actions? How do you get to that? I had this from the last group coaching call on the pathway. It was like, okay, what actions to take? For some people, it's like, right, yep, clear, yep, clear. Not that, but this, yeah. And for others, it was like a bit like, I don't know, and it was interesting because the ones that had worked out their mother-all beliefs, what their key negative subconscious belief was from the structure of the pathway, they were clearer of what they need to do. And maybe it's just that realigning. It's like, oh yeah, you just needed that reaffirmation, reconfirmation, refocus, drawing it out through few questions. Bing, there it is. But the ones that hadn't got clear on what their negative subconscious, mother-all beliefs was, what I call the mother-all beliefs was, it was like, don't know. And it's interesting because the ones that were clearer, it's like, do the, not that, but this. It's like not the old patterns, but the new patterns, not the old belief, but the new belief. So not the mother-all belief. What's the opposite? Yeah, do that. And part of the 6-step process of them finding out, what do I call it? My story of that process is finding the last bit is actually, if that's the mother-all beliefs, the negative one, what's the new one? It's like, oh yeah, that's what I want it to be. And then using all the tools and techniques within the program to build that on a daily basis and do the work. So what you need to do is find out what your mother-all beliefs is. According to me, in the structure I've gone through, in the bumps and the pain and the struggles and the failures, the patterns. It's like, why do I keep coming here? Why do I keep getting stuck? Why am I banging my head on why do I keep doing this? Help! How do I get out of this pattern? So it's really difficult to see, but it's really difficult to know what to do. It's really difficult to kind of find your way out of that confusion. So, you need to know what your mother-all beliefs is, because then not doing that, then that opens up the door for what you can do, the opposite of that. So if your negative belief is this, then it's like, oh, oh, not that, but this. Oh, wow, if I'm doing that, I could be dung, 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 and it all starts opening up. And that's the world of possibilities that opens up, because you're blinkered. I've used that analogy. You're blinkered in so many different ways through your negative, mother-all beliefs. It's like, oh, that holds you back. And then it's like, or is it that one that holds you back? And it's like, oh, this is the new one. Sorry, I'm using different positions. And that's the process that we take people through. And it's like, I love it. It's like finding out that discovery thing, that what did I get? Sherlock Holmes. I was going to use the curious case of what's missing. So that's why I called the program the curious case of what's missing, and then built on the pathway to it, which is, I found the bits ironically that were missing. So, and the mother-all beliefs is it. It's like, oh, that's really cool. If you can understand that and refine that, you don't need to know all the other ones. You know them, but you don't need to focus on them. Just focus on that key one, that negative mother of all beliefs. There it is. Yes, sirree. So find that out, and then that opens up the opportunity for the opposite, and that's the direction to go in for good. So my invitation to you, keeping this nice and short, aren't I? Woohoo! A 5-minute rare thing, right? So my invitation to you is find out what your mother of all beliefs is. Yeah, and then and you can do that, and then it'll open up a world of opportunities. It's like, oh, and you can do that with me if you want. You can do. There's a link below on the PS bit. You can, or if you're watching this on YouTube or something else, you can find that out by just messaging me. Or you can look at previous ones, previous videos where I did. I'll put the link in it. And what you can do is, for an hour with me on a Zoom call, what we'll do is work through the 6-step process. And I don't make this available I hadn't made this available outside of the program. And I thought it was a really cool thing to be able to do. It's a tester, really, if you like. And if you get to that, like, oh, crap, that's my mother of all beliefs, then it's like, I could be like this. And it's like, now I know how to do it, And yeah, you need the whole process, I'd say, to understand it. But it was like, if you want to test this stuff, come and test it with me. That's a cool way to experience this stuff. So I'll put the link for that if you want. Or if not, have a go at finding it yourself, what your overall dominant negative belief is. And that would have come from your childhood. Connect with how it's held you back all these years. And how it still runs true now, and how your actions are delivered from that negative one, and then define what you want it to be. It's cool stuff. So my invitation to you is to find out what your mother of all beliefs is. I thank you. I hope you have an awesome day, and speak to you soon. Goodbye.